Hi all. I want to share a little bit of a tidbit of my own story and just an alternate experience or perspective, and it may be a little bit controversial for some, so I want to be try my best to do caveats and make sure that I'm not saying this is for everybody, but I also don't want to keep myself from sharing my story and some of the resources that I've learned with other people, because I feel like it can bring hope to a lot of people who feel stuck. So basically, I'm married now, but I've been with my husband for over 8 years, and for most of that time we were actually dating. And I know my story is not the typical Christian romantic relationship story that people have, but it's funny because I had grown up with the belief that when God brings you into a relationship romantically with somebody, if you wait for the right person, then there shouldn't be as much heartbreak or pain. And I kind of just interpreted that as like there really shouldn't be any pain. Like maybe minor stuff, sure, but like other stuff, like other bigger stuff, like things I had non-negotiables of, like pornography, shouldn't, like that's not a thing. And a huge part of my journey has been walking with somebody romantically who has been struggling through pornography, and we even experienced a betrayal type situation in our relationship before we were married as well. And I know this is not going to be everybody's story, and I'm not going out and saying, okay, like stay in a relationship if there's a lot of painful stuff happening like that. But I think what I'm trying to say, and first of all, like, yeah, please use counsel, please use support in your own relationship with God to make a decision for you based on your specific circumstances and relationship, just like I made mine. But yeah, I think I wanted to give people hope. Like there are some resources out there that really helped me and my now husband to heal through situations like that, and really actually grow in more safety together. And don't get me wrong though, we both had to buy into those resources. It didn't just like it's hard when only one person does it, but I've seen in a lot of dynamics that usually one of the two does it first and then the other one can follow. And even if like you do your own emotional healing and your partner never does, just the fact that you can get it for yourself has been life-changing for me. I have healed in ways that I didn't even know I needed to be healed in because of this journey with my now husband and the healing that we've run after. And a huge part of that journey was finding life consulting or emotional health consulting through the Stumvalls, Abby and Justin Stumvall. I got connected with their podcast, The Connected Life, after a couple years of us struggling through my boyfriend at the time struggling with pornography and me having a lot of pain and confusion coming up around that. Because I still believe actually, and I really felt at the time, based on so many coincidences and like hearing God's voice and things, that God had led me into this relationship with the boyfriend at the time, my boyfriend at the time, my now husband. And I was really just, yeah, it was confusing for me. I was like, okay, I felt really led to this situation, but you know, why is there so much craziness and confusion happening and pain coming up? And I remember there was an episode on that podcast that basically it shined some light on those struggling with pornography and how people who struggle with pornography, it's not just a porn problem. There's so much more that goes into it. It's usually like an emotional thing. Like people are looking for escape. They're looking for safe relationship. They're looking for love in different places. And it's a way deeper thing than just being a porn problem. And it's such a human thing. And so just realizing that, and then also they asked at the end of the podcast, what would you say to those who are with someone who is struggling through pornography? And they said something that ended up changing my whole trajectory from that point on. But they said, you know, I would suggest for that person to do some type of I would just invite them into the journey of internal healing for themselves and reflection, because typically those who are partners with someone struggling through pornography probably also have their own pain points and stories that further emphasize the pain of being with someone who is struggling with pornography. They have their own rejection wounds or abandonment wounds from before, and those are getting activated in this situation to turn maybe a level 3 pain situation into a level 10. And I had no idea that was even a thing, that you could carry past painful experiences that inform your current or future. And, you know, it was a both and situation. My husband was struggling, or my now husband was struggling with pornography, and that was painful in and of itself. But then I also had these rejection wounds from other times in my life before that further emphasized and just brought so much overwhelm for me. And I really struggled to show up in a way that would actually help my boyfriend at the time get the help that he needed, because I would typically show up in like fight mode, like I would be blaming and like, come on, pull it together. And I didn't have I just wasn't able to be the support that could actually encourage change for him. And I needed to experience that for myself first. I needed to experience compassion for me, and resources that would help me be okay. And so, not in a way to blame myself for how I was showing up, but I gained more context for what was going on for me that helped release shame and actually helped empower me to be more healed for myself alone, and also be a more supportive force for my boyfriend at the time to get the change that he was hoping for as well. And yeah, me and my husband have been through a lot. Our journey has been so bumpy and up and down, but I'm thankful that we both have found resources and have committed to the journey of healing, that we could actually make it through hard things. And so I just want to share a little bit of that for anyone who may be feeling, just anyone who may be looking for hope in maybe a marriage or something like that, that there are resources out there, and again, right, it's hard because when we're in relationship with other people, and whether that's romantic or friendship or whatnot, we can only control ourselves. We can't control the other person. But even just realizing that there's so many, that there's just so much redemption that's possible in pain in this life. That even when we go through situations that just leave us on our just flat out on the ground, that there are resources that can help us experience love in painful places. And it's something that this is something that I'm just really passionate about. I just wish that people had more resources to know like how their bodies, their nervous systems and emotions work in a way that releases shame and creates transformation out of love instead of fear, releases performance, and really resources that facilitate an experience, to experience love getting in deeper into the painful places, to experience new beliefs over and over again. Because I've realized that for a lot of healing, and sometimes for some people it's a one and done thing, like they have a huge experience that heals them. But I think for a lot of us, and a lot of how our bodies are wired, is healing looks like reparative experiences that happen time and time again to create new pathways and new beliefs from the bottom up, and or just from the root. And so I just wanted to make this video and also share that I was trained by the Stumvols, under Stumvol, and I was trained by Stumvol Consulting for 3 years, and I am an emotional health consultant that walks with other people to find more freedom and let love in deeper. And if you are someone who is really kind of wrestling through certain things, like you're not really sure why you do the reactions you do, or you find yourself in cycles of burnout, or turning to different things that you don't want to, or procrastination, or shutting down, or anger, and you're curious and wanting to know more about the resources out there, the resources that I'm offering, to help you further understand how your operating system works and to experience felt experiences that create transformation out of love. Please feel free to reach out. My website is in my bio. I do free discovery calls for around 30 minutes for those who are interested in learning more and want to chat, or maybe even just ask questions and be curious. I would love to share, and I am genuinely just, I love seeing people being able to experience more freedom, because I know what that has meant to me. So anyways, thanks for listening.